everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. So we're in a new month. It's October. That means I have new online classes. I have a new card club. So today I'm going to show you my card club first project and show you what's coming if you are in card club or if you're interested in joining my card club. And I'll tell you more about it as I make the card. But before I get going, I was going to show you a couple of the last videos that have posted. I didn't put them anyplace on Facebook. I put them, they're not on Pinterest. They're nowhere because I pre-did them before we went on vacation. And when you work, at least for me, when I work that far ahead, I'm doing 2 weeks of work in 1 week. And then when I'm on vacation, I just let it auto post. So all it did was go up and then it had a matching email just to tell you it was there. So this one is, every year I do a pink Christmas tree card. And this is this year's. Super glittery. It does not show up very well at all in photos. Even I did a little video on my Instagram so you could kind of see it, but all that sparkle just doesn't show up on the camera as well as it does in real life. And then this card here, you can tell that it was nice and muggy. Got all that hurricane rain while I was gone because everything's peeled up on the edges. It works better if you put your adhesive all the way to the corner. But this card shows you my free online class this month. If you purchase the Sentimental Christmas Suite from me, then you can get a free online class. There's details on that on my website. And then this shows Light the Year, which is our card club bonus. So I kind of mixed the two together to show you that. So for card club this month, the paper is Regal Winter. So in my card club, you get a half a packet of paper. So it's cut 6 by 12, and then everybody gets that. It makes it a little bit sturdier for for shipping. This is beautiful paper. So even though it's called Regal Winter, I think you can use it year round. This is my favorite piece. So I can't wait to work more with it. So we'll make, in my card club, we do 3 designs, and you get the supplies to do 2 of each. Then they will also get a full packet. Do I have a full packet in here? Yes. Of the Regal foiled adhesive back dots. There's also green. So there's 4 colors. They have a little bit of gold on them, the gold foil. They're really pretty. So they get a full packet of those. They get a full spool of the blackberry and gold ribbon. So the only thing that is a half pack is the paper. And then they can add on the stamp sets. So this month you can add on the stamp set Regal Flora, or you can add on the bundle, the same bundle. And when you're in Card Club, you just pay the catalog price. So whatever this says in the catalog, that's what you pay. And as a perk of Club, I pay your shipping, handling, and tax. You're going to see all the dies. I use almost all the dies, I think, on this card. Did I use them all? We'll find out. Oh no, I didn't use this one. So if you have the dies, then you can cut out these images. If you don't, everything that needs to be die cut that isn't cut out, I can't do these because it makes it a little bit difficult to stamp on, especially with a red rubber set. But you can trim those out. But anything that is die cut or put through a folder when you're in Card Club comes ready for you to do. And then this month we have a bonus set. So Light the Year, everybody in Card Club gets the tutorials for the bonus set. This one we just make 2 cards. But if they purchase the bonus set, then they get the supplies to create those 2 projects as well. So let me show you just a couple of things that we have. My throat's scratchy. I haven't really talked to anybody today except for my cats. Here's some things that I've done with the paper, or my friends have done. So this one's mine. I think that tutorial's up. I have to go back and see if I've posted everything. Then this is a gift card holder that my friend made. And you can see it's a fall card with that paper. Another one from a friend, and it's a Christmas one. Another one from a friend. She also made one, Tanya made one with the lantern, and I can't find it. I cleaned my office before I left on vacation. So, sometimes if you're like me, it's better when it's all piled because you know what pile you stuck something in. But once I clean it, I'm like, where did I put that? So that's all using the paper. So I'm going to do the first project. This is the actual first project they will make in Card Club. So we have, there is this. This is 3 3/4 by 5, so it's a little bit smaller, so it gives us more of a blackberry border. So they have that white piece. There's a piece to stamp on. This one we are using, not this. Didn't all fall out. So these would come already cut to you. This is my favorite die in this set because I love the shape. And you can see when I rolled it through. So they would get, we'll use this on a different card, but this one's for this card. But this, run it through the die machine and it gives you the frame and then it gives you the inside piece. So when you're in card club, these will probably be in the same stack. So just take this, separate them for the project that you need. So this one, and then there's a paper to stamp on, and then they get their envelopes. So let's get going on this card. It's so beautiful. So make sure that you're stamping on the larger piece and the smaller piece is for your, I'm going to stamp my envelope at the same time. So for this one, I'm using Daubers. You could use a blending brush. The small one would work well. And I went with this piece of paper. So on this card, if you don't have the colors that match, just pick one of the other ones and use this strip of paper. This is 1.5 and it will be across the thing. So I'm just going to trim it. 1.5 by 5. I think is how, yeah. But you can use any of the strips. And if you use the one that's mostly wild wheat, then do your flowers in the colors that match the strip that you're going to use. So because I used this strip, I would just pulled out colors. I mean, there's so many colors in there. I have a lot of colors on my table, but I could have went with a lot of different ones. So I'm going to do this one first. And I'm going to use Fresh Freesia and Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to stamp it in my light color. And I'm going to take just a little bit of Blackberry and daub it on for some highlights. I'm going to do 2 of this flower. Isn't that pretty? Such a pretty set. Now, if you are super particular about your pads, then you can clean it off in between. Once you start letting people use your stuff in public and in classes, you can't be terribly careful about it anymore. So there's that one. So pretty. You can see it's a distinctive set. And then I'm going to take my envelope over here. And I'm not going to re-ink it. I'm going to just huff on it. And add a couple of these. Scrap cardstock. I don't have my paper here. I was looking for that card and then I stopped getting everything I needed for this. I can probably get one more time out of it. So I want these to just kind of be light and an illusion of what's going to be on the card. So there's that flower. And then I'm going to take my piece that goes on my card front. So here's a little trick. We're going to stamp the words, and I don't put the stickers on my words. So to make sure that this was straight, you see I have lines on my table, but you could use lines on a grid paper. You could use a ruler. Just draw a line on your scrap paper underneath. So I lined this up on this split of my table, the cut there. So the wishing I were there, lined that up so it was straight. And I made sure that this was straight. So you can see when it's on the second line that it's straight. So I know this is going to be straight if I have this straight on my paper. Got that? So just make sure that you put your stamp on straight. Then when you go to do this, and I put it close to the bottom, because then I can just line the bottom of my block up. And there, because the bottom of my block is straight, and that was straight when I mounted it, it's straight. So if you take a second when you mount your stamps, then you don't have to waste paper because it's not on there straight. So this says, wishing I were there to give you a hug. I love that stamp. It's a good one. And then this is a little background that comes in it, and I'm doing it in the Fresh Freesia. And I'm going to stamp full strength every time, and I'm going to get a little bit in the words, but not too much. And remember, we're sticking that strip of paper on here, so it kind of needs to go, put more of these on than what you think, because once you put the flowers and that strip of paper on here, a lot of it's going to get covered up. It has a nice little gap around in it, so you can see that you can get it on there. See how that fits kind of right there around the Y's. I'll do a little bit over here, and that should be good. So that is that flower. Now let's do Don't want to touch that blackberry ink. Grab our flower sheet back. And then this one I went with Pretty in Pink and Moody Mauve. And the rest, this one I'm just going to do one. It's a set of 3. If you do too many flowers, then you can't see the paper. So on one of the cards, I already have an idea of how to do it. So we'll get lots of paper. So there is the Pretty in Pink, and then I'm going to get the mauve and put it kind of here in the middle. And I'm just going to kind of dab some around. So it's got a Pretty in Pink base, but it's going to end up being mostly mauve. And then whenever you've taken time, if you want, you can just huff on it, blow a little hot air, and that will re-moisten anything. So we have this, and that dries a whole lot lighter, the Pretty in Pink. And just get rid of the ink on this one. So there's our envelope going. And then let's do this one. I just did in Peacock, and I did 2 of these since it was just the leaves. I just did the one color. So 2 of those. And every month in Card Club, if people feel like they have a stamp set that's very similar, you do not have to add the stamp set. You can just go with what you got. So this one, I'm going to do a little bit differently. So I'm going to kind of get the edge right here. You could use a marker. I'm just going to kind of ink those stems. And then I have my lemon lolly. You can see where I touched. I know that kills some of you. So I've been doing this for 30 years. My daughter's 30. And so when she was little when I started doing this, and I worked from home, obviously. And she always wanted to help. So my pads got 1-year-old stamping abilities all over them. So from the very go, I've been okay with. They still stamp. If you get another ink color on them, it works itself out. You can take a tissue and blot it up if it bothers you. But when it's on the edge like that, it's only going to affect if you stamp on the edge. And when you're doing a big stamp like this, you tend to go in the middle of the pad. So that was Crushed Curry, Lemon Lolly, and Old Olive. And then this one, when I first stamped it, I wasn't really pleased with the colors, but it gets tucked under all the other stuff, so I decided to leave it. So I have Shaded Spruce. I'm going to do it this way this time. Last time I did, oh, I didn't put the little one on I'm kind of scattered. So this is Shaded Spruce. No, I mean Shy Shamrock. I did this opposite last time. I'm going to put some Shaded Spruce on for the highlight. And then I have my Azure Afternoon. Got back from vacation, and the hurricane had come through, not nearly to the extent that it did other places, but we had a lot of limbs down, a lot of trees down in our neighborhood. So went out to pick up all the limbs, and I disturbed a yellow jacket nest, and I got stung about 30 times. So that was our welcome home, and then I had to go to the doctor. So now I have to have an EpiPen because my reactions, it's the 3rd time I've gotten stung this year. So the reactions just keep getting worse. So the medicine's working, it just makes me groggy. And while we were gone, our youngest kitten got sick. So yesterday I took her to the vet. And you know, when your animals are sick, it's really hard because you can't communicate to them what's going on. So I'm just going to kind of fill that in. Isn't that pretty? And this is all just with leftover ink. So I have all the flowers now. Now I'm going to go back to this, which is I did in the Fresh Freesia. And I'm just going to add some dots. So there's the envelope. And you'll see how well it comes together with the card when we're done. But I'm still on the, back to my grogginess. I'm on medication and it makes it a little difficult to think. Now, if you're in card club and you got the dies, use your dies to cut these out. If you didn't get them, then just simply hand trim them out. I'm going to run these through my die cut machine real quick. All right, so I've cut these all out. Let me grab this. So this is 1.5 and it was by 12. And the reason I did it like that was so on both cards I could kind of shove the edge that I want. So you see if it goes here, you're gonna lose all this beautiful color and all this purple will be here. So I'm going to slide mine this direction so I get as much as the color as I can. So let's go ahead and add this. And the back sides are so pretty on this paper. It's always sadness to glue one of those down. So add this. I'm just gonna grab it. I'm just gonna hand trim that. You can use your paper trimmer if you want. So we have that done. Now we just need to kind of arrange our flowers, and you'll see what I mean about the fact that it didn't matter so much that this color wasn't beautiful because they all get tucked under each other. Didn't pop out. There we go. So what I did was I kind of just tacked a little bit of stuff on here and you just lay them softly. So just lay it on there softly. That way if you need to move it, it's really easy to pick them up, because sometimes when you're layering, you're like, oh, that should have been higher or lower. So put those there. And then when I like where it is, I will push it down a little harder. So when you have 2 of these, I'm gonna put one at the top, one at the bottom. So we're doing the pieces that we have 2 of first. Because this is barely on here, I can kind of tuck it. Now remember, this paper is cut smaller than a typical. Normally I would do 4 by 5 1/4. This is 1/4 inch less. So I can already see that I need to move my peacock piece down. But it's okay because I didn't stick it, I just tacked it. But there's enough adhesive on it that once I'm ready, I'll be able to. And I took this piece here. I swapped the direction I did the colors and you can't even tell. But see, it matches the paper. I just went with colors that look like they were in the paper. Lay that there. Then our little yellow one. Put that there. And then this I'm going to add with the dimensionals. But before I do, I'll just lay this on here. And you can see it's spread out nice. It makes a nice little floral spray. So these are good. I'm not going to press them super hard because I'm going to take my frame. And I'm just going to put glue on the long ends, not the side. Well, not this side, because I want this side over here. I'm going to tie some ribbon on it. Just add your glue. And this is why I haven't all the way pushed down on those. Oops, I forgot the ribbon. Told you, that medicine. It's done wonders for my bites, not so much for my head. And copious amounts of medicine. All the kinds. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of adhesive straight to my ribbon. This will also help hold those flowers down. Add it right to the middle. So you can see how much of your paper ends up getting covered up. That's why I wanted to pick the ends that had the most colors. Fold those around. And then I took another piece and I'll just have it ready, but I did this after I'd added it to the card. We're making faux bow. So then you just kind of, you can slide this down. You can still pick these up because I haven't stuck them. You can see they're still kind of moving around. So they haven't pressed super hard. Just add your frame. And then this is the side that doesn't have any glue. Just tie a simple knot. You don't want to pull too tight because this is a pretty delicate piece of paper, or the frame is. So just leave it like that. Once everything's dry, you can do it a little tighter if you want. And then let's get my dimensionals. Oh, look, there's 3 left. Very randomly. Isn't that weird how we take those off of there? And let's just... You make sure you don't cover up your words. Okay, now I'm going to press everything. The dimensionals also help hold this on where it's not. There we go. I think you don't want this so giant that it covers up all those beautiful flowers we just stamped, so trim it off. But you want to give yourself enough to work with so it's easier to tie than not. Let's grab our card base. Again, this is Blackberry Bliss. I hadn't used this color for a long time, and because of the colors in the papers that are out right now, it's become one of my favorite colors again. Get to the edges since we're back to curling season, right? When the air conditioning is on in the house, it doesn't curl. But because this is cut smaller, it allows the spray on there to go up off the edge of your back panel. I think that's pretty. Now let's grab our embellishments. So there's Blackberry, maybe Moonlight. Let's say, I don't know what color. This looks like it's garden green. I don't know which pink that is. So I grabbed the Blackberry ones and added those to the centers of these 3, since this is kind of our focal one, since it ended up on top. So we have those 3, and then I wanted all the colors. So there's 3 other colors, but what that does is it gives you an even number. And you know, I always use an odd number. So I put the other 3 colors on. So now we have 6. And then I decided which one, I kind of liked the green. I think that's a fun little pop. So let's do one more green. When you do even numbers, people who teach art school say your eyes don't know where to go. So when they're odd, your eyes aren't trying to match it all up. And then I took my Wink of Stella, just a little bit, right here on the centers of these. And if you just get the parts that have the mauve on it, it kind of helps highlight them, and it shows off a little bit of sparkle. Kind of goes with the gold in there. So here's this one. A little bit different because the way you end up placing this stuff. But overall, they should end up all looking the same if you have the stamp set, or similar. Same but different. So if you're interested in my card club, you always have till the 10th of whatever month it is to subscribe, and you do it through PayPal subscriptions. So PayPal handles it all. They'll auto bill you every month. You don't have to have a PayPal account. You can use whatever form of payment you want. PayPal just manages it. And then you have till the 10th to add on any of the add-ons that are taking place that month. If you have any questions at all, there's a whole page on my website about my card club. It always has, well, always, as soon as I have the stuff up to date, then it gets redone for each month. So right now it probably still has, it has this month's information and probably a September picture or 2, but it will be updated soon after I do this video. So if you have questions, go there or email me or ask below the video. Have a great one. Bye.